First of all, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, by Hashem Rakakadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to all the brothers and a few sisters out there. Onto the like foreigners from the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Shalom in the Hebrew, which means peace. It's going to be a quick show through the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. This video, pretty much, it was something that was given to me, and I sat there and dwell on it. We always do. Sometimes we search for things and the spirit have it. Us find us a particular subject. Sometimes we gotta research. I didn't really do that much research. It just had to hit me just right. So I'm one of them brothers that love music dearly. That's something like that's part of my spiritual DNA. And I grew up in New York City, Brooklyn, New York. And this thing called rap music, at the time, it caught my attention as a young man. But growing up with a mother, she always played reggae or R&B, or what they'll call them white chocolate, like different groups. They seemingly look white, but they're Jakes, all right, because they have soul. But there's one particular genre of music which all us brothers couldn't know I'm getting at, that grabbed our attention, and I was kind of forced down on us because it was fresh, it was hip. It was something about this music that was just overwhelmingly great, And then when you later on down the line, when you do the history, how it was just love music, love ballads and everything on the radio. That's all you will ever hear. But this music, this is for the inner city. This is for us. This is for our struggle and all this good stuff. So I wanted to bring it out like that because this list that the apostle has sent, right? This is amazing. All right, this list right here is amazing. All right, from Scott LaRock. Now, if you don't know who Scott LaRock is, that was KRS-One's DJ. All right, on the Boogie Down production. Okay, and this man, he was part of the Boogie Down production, and when KRS-One came out, that whole movement, that was just another fresher breath of air, because the timing came out 87. I mean, not 87, sorry, like 80, I believe 86 he came out, 86, and it was a different sound from the old way of, what we knew was rap music. Okay, and this is for the older heads know what I'm talking about, but the younger guys don't know. So he was one of the first tragedy of hip hop, what they called it later down the line. Because back in the days, they used to call it rap music, and because it was trying to give it a bad name, it would never last, blah 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 blah. So this list, all right, I'm not gonna read all the names. I'm just gonna read a couple known rappers that I know, and because there's a lot of guys I have no idea who they were. Well, now, Trouble T. Roy, which every time I hear that song with Pete Rock and CL Smooth, Troy, which is one of the best songs you ever hear in hip hop. And with the beat, like like it's just something about it just hits you. But when like I'm older now, so it still hits me, but it's not. But I'm like, damn, when a guy named called Trouble T. Roy, I don't think that guy was really a good guy, if you know what I mean. Because back, you always had a street name. You didn't have a street name just to have a street name. You had a street name because it was an act that you did. So, I listen to the song now lately, and I'm like, well, he probably got what he deserved, but that's neither here or there. So, like I said, I'm just gonna go through this thing, and I'm gonna bring out some scriptures, and you're gonna see, you're gonna see some names that I do. I'm gonna keep it real. Some names that I know, and some names I have no idea. You got the Eazy-E's, you got the Tupacs. When Tupac died, that was a big thing in hip hop because simple fact that the way he died, you know, and this whole beef with the West Coast, East Coast shit. And to me, honestly, this is where when this guy died, this is where this is where really the change of the guard, so to speak. This is when it got from bad to fucking worse. All right, gangster rap was really poison to the people. That's why you had songs called like Self Destruction with a whole bunch of East Coast rappers, New York rappers. They got together to stop the violence and all that shit. And then you had the West Coast version, which was alright. But, you know, it was a lot of shit going on, but simultaneously, the industry was pumping gangster rap. It was just pumping it, you know? So one of the well, he wasn't the founder or nothing like that, the way they make it sound. Because, you know, niggas are from the hood. They all grew up the same way. But Eazy-E was one of those guys. So when he died, that was kind of, I remember when that happened, that was kind of, you know, it hurt a little. You know what I'm saying? It hurt. Because that was one of the guys that, you know, started things. But when Tupac died, man, they shut shit down. I kid you not. That shit was like sad, depressing. So many months later, after Tupac died, then Biggie died. And then literally New York City, Brooklyn was shut down. Alright. So these two main guys right here, which we all know, you heard plenty of stories of. I'm not going to bring it out. That defeats the purpose of this show. But these are the two pioneers that pretty much kind of introduced the industry from violence. Then you have Big L. I was out here in New York. Then you have Freaky Ty, another guy. Big Pun, he died from a heart attack. Alright? So now you got E-Money Bags and all these other guys. Left Eye, she died. She's not hip hop, but she was part of the industry. But you started seeing a trend here. Jam Master Jay, alright, who's part of Rum DNC. Camouflage, I don't know who that is. Half a Mil, I don't know. Soldier Slim, that was these guys, Hot Boys guys, you know, one of they guys and shit like that. But now, Old Dirty Bastard, he died from a heart attack. So, Proof, Jay Dillon. So, certain things, certain names, you know, was hitting. Pimp C, yes. All right. So, as I was going through the list, I'm like, okay. I'm looking at it. Nate Dogg, he died from a heart attack, I believe. Heavy D, another pioneer. Like, all right. But I'm starting to see a trend now. Tim Dog, I think, did Tim Dog die? I think he faked his death, some shit like that. But I think he died at that time. But he started seeing a trend, and that trend is, why out of all these music, all right, I'm gonna get the scripture real quick. Out of all music, why is it all of a sudden these people that associate themselves with hip hop dying suddenly, right? They start dying, boom, boom, boom. All right, Sean Price, he was part of the Boot Camp Clip, which is a crew out here in New York. It was a Decepticon back in the days. Five Dog, Tribe Called Quest, Shorty Low. Oh, he did die? Oh yeah, he did. Okay, Big Ski, Prodigy. That was another kind of a blow. You know, and he's like, okay, so a lot of these guys, some of them just died from, you know, natural deaths. So the old pioneers, you could tell, and that's another thing too, Slakia, because this is the one key thing I really want to emphasize. You're going to start seeing a trend with the ages. So all the pioneers, like I said, all the people that I knew of grew up, a lot of them will start dying, but they died at a certain good age. But something about this music, death just follows it. All right? And then it kept going. Okay, I went to Craig Mack, all right? What's that? Triple X, that little nigga. Then he started to see another trend. and you're gonna see a lot of younger guys. Okay, there's a part of, and this is, I never even heard of Nipsey Hussle until he died. Okay, so year after year, this is 2019, right? It's a lot of fucking people in 2019, and then you start seeing more and more. All right, then you start seeing more. I'm not exaggerating what I'm seeing. Then you start seeing more. Some names I know, and some names I have no idea who they are. Probably just heard them from when they died. You start seeing more. Was it FBG, Duck, whatever? Start seeing more. I only know them from death. All right, start seeing more. MF Doom, I heard of him. King Von, this kid is a fucking terror. Okay, you start seeing more. So as I'm looking at this, I'm like, yo, what the? You know, because past couple of years, yeah, we heard like, damn, these rappers are dying. Black Rob, Whoa. And sometimes we just do shows on them. Biz Markie, a major pioneer from back in my youth days. All right, and you start seeing these things. Let me see. Oh, and he didn't get there yet. All right, boom. So keep going. This is not kidding. You can see the little scroll at the side. This is only halfway of how many deaths has been associated with that fucking brand of music. All right, and it keeps on going. It's like I said, some names I know, some names I have no idea. I just have to go back because I started to see something else. Oh, there's one. All right, this guy Corey Yex, 13 years old. 13 years old. This is one of them outs. Wow. 13 years old. All right. Okay. No, it doesn't get no better than this. So you start seeing more death. Yo, it's like a fucking war. If you go to like down there at 9/11, where the Twin Towers is at, you see a memorial of all the people that died. This is like that. All was associated with this brand of music. K-Slay, the drama queen. I remember that clown. This is 2022 now. Nah, Raekwon the Chef. No, this is another Raekwon the Chef. Okay, I'm 25. Never heard of him. And it keeps on going. And the funny thing is, 2022 keeps on going. All right. This shit is fucking madness, man. This is fucking death. A lot of these guys you ain't even heard of, they just put their name on the dotted line. They dead. Okay? Then the music got garbage at the time, and especially now, but you start seeing a trend. It's easy to talk about things, but when you see with your own eyes, like this put everything. All right, they put Jesse Powell. That's an R&B singer. All right. I don't know how I noticed that one. I don't know all the names, but whatever. Coolio, 59. He died a decent time. I don't know. I just find it strange. This is crazy, man. Then you got the recent guy Takeoff. And that was crazy because I seen a 14-year-old kid. I'm thinking that kid was the youngest, and it was a 13-year-old kid. So, and that's when the thing ended. So, this brand of music, Hurricane G, she was and this has happened all in one day. So it's Tame One. I believe he was part of the R&B group. Damn, forgive me. Can't remember right now. not Black, not Black. Was it Blackstreet? It'll come to me. It'll come to me. It's not a point right now. But then you got Hurricane G. They got I don't know, Relax O'Shea. Who the hell is this guy? I don't know. All in one day. 4 deaths in one day. 2 died of a decent age, but the rest of them just died. Man, you niggas, y'all made a deal, alright? Y'all got wiped out. Alright? This is depressing. Just to look at it. From rapping in the, about shit going on in the hood to now everybody want to be a fucking gangster. Anybody that's associated with that type of brand of music is finding themselves dead. And it's just 2022. How much more death is coming? Alright? This is sad. This is real sad, bro. You will never see an R&B list of people that died the way this music has corrupted the minds of people. The way it started and the way it's ending right now, this is 2 different brands of music. This is more, this is a kid I saw. Alright, 14 years old. 14 years old. And this all started with Scott LaRock. 25 years old. Alright? So he's still a young man, but at the same time, he's died. I forgot how he died. I think he died from... No, I think he got shot. I gotta look at the history. Don't really care right now. But just to show you the death... It's crazy, man. It's fucking crazy. But that shows you that what? This society breathes death, man. Alright? And no matter how they try to escape it, they still end up dying. Ecclesiastes 3 and I'll go to the point 4. It says, and the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. Let me see the word brought low. I mean, yeah, it means what it means. Nothing real spectacular, but the music is brought low. It's brought not even to a humbling point. Like, it's brought down to the most evilest vibration that you could ever see. And what does that? All that ever did, that was breeding more death. Okay, it was a music branded for death, and that brand of death, like I got the song, the instrumental background, Onyx Last Days, and I remember when it came out, I was in 6th grade, when they had that song Throw Your Guns in the Air, and the commercial song that everybody knows, Slam and all this other shit. Man, that vibration at that time was so serious. It was so demonic. All right, it was. I felt the difference. Even I was growing up and seeing things differently, and it wasn't the same no more. Of course, you had the era of the gangster rap with NWA, that, but that was like the kind of like a foundation of everything else. And it's got more darker and more grittier, especially in the mid-90s. Okay? It got so dark and grittier that a couple of well-known artists was put to death. Okay? And after they was put to death, everything kind of slowed down, but it just got more darker and more grittier. And a lot of the songs in hip-hop was all about pushing satanic shit. It wasn't like that before. So I thought, as I go back to the old school hip hop, I'm hearing certain things, certain codes. Like, everybody was calling themselves Grandmaster, this and that, on a square and all that, not even knowing that they was talking about Masonic things. All right, but it proves that Esau really has done a number onto Jake, so much so that he enjoys his own death. All right, Let me get this one real quick. Proverbs 8:35 says, "For whosoever findeth me findeth life, and shall obtain favor of the Lord. But he that sinneth against me wrongeth his own soul, and all that hate me love death." And that is absolutely truth. Because there was even a point in time where, Jake was on a tip of on fear of the Most High, which that was in all brands of music, to the point where there was even being more demonic. A lot of brothers know what I'm talking about, especially in the 90s, especially underground shit. Another one main guy was Big L. All right, Big L. He was one of Big L, Biggie. Biggie was another one. All right. And it's a lot of things, they were saying it was mad demonic, because you had to be more harder than the next guy. So you had to say the most outlandish shit. And that was the thing that these so-called small hats are trying to always put it on, like, look at your people. But they're the ones that's promoting this madness to the people, to the point where now that's all people. If you ever talk to somebody that's trying to be an upcoming artist and tell them to freestyle for you, which I don't know if they do that anymore, or spit some rhymes, whatever, it's all the same. All right? But who's pushing that vibration more than anything? Esau. Revelations 12:10, it says, "And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength, and the kingdom of our power, and the power of his anointed. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accuse them before our power day and night." Because Esau wants to put the blame on everything, especially now. It's all about the blame game. And that's what the radio only promotes. Back in the days, you will never hear a song with curses, period. But guess what word always comes out? Nigga. Okay? Nigga. So what all this being said and done, what are you really doing to the people? All right? Matter of fact, Habakkuk 2 should be 15. It says, "Woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink." All right? And that's that philosophy. Okay? In order to get out of poverty, you pretty much have to bend over and sell your ass short. Okay? And we had a lot of people that was influencers before the term influencers was popping. Now you have a common influencer just by going to somebody's page. But before that, it was the celebrities, which celebrity means celestial, that was on television. All right? In order for them to stay on television, they had to do a lot of things to stay in front of your peripheral. All right, to be pioneers and so forth. Like you have what's this guy? Not Grandmaster Flash. African Bambaataa. And you listen to the old school hip hop. I'm thinking of Tribe Called Quest. They'll give respect to the Zulu Nation and all this goodness, and they'll call them the pioneers and all that. But now you find out the dirt that this guy in that organization was doing. You're like, what the fuck? All right. But where did he get these ideas to do all these things? What was that being pushed? Because hip hop was a manly thing. You had to be a fucking a tough guy of tough guys. You had to be a gangster, thug, whatever. So a lot of things couldn't just. A nigga will call you out on your shit. What did this come from? Well, that came from Esau, and he gave the people that madness to drink. It says that putteth the bottle to him and maketh him drunken also, that they mayest look on their nakedness. And that's why hip hop was so deadly and dangerous, because it talked about the things that was going on in the hood. Now niggas just incriminating themselves. Like they sit down on the Vlad TV couch and they just incriminate themselves. And that's how a couple of these known rappers, I think in Atlanta, they built up a case on them because these niggas was really doing shit. All right, because that was another thing. The artist was not separating himself from what? The art. So you could never really tell the difference. But all that was part of the madness that was being brought to mold the minds of the youth. It says thou art filled with shame for glory, because how Esau stole, he got everything. Now, a lot of these guys would call themselves after a movie. You know, a lot of Tony Montanas, which is non-existent. You know, a lot of, you know, they would call themselves from old gangsters in the 50s, the 60s, even before then. You know, even in reggae too. What's this guy's name I'm thinking of? Damn. Well, it'll come to me. It'll come. But they would channel those type of spirits. Okay? Like the biggest gangsters that you, like, you know, Elliot Ness, he was the Fed, whatever. Al Capone, which was a gangster. A lot of these guys will use those references in the music as something to be glorified in. All right, but to come to find out, even those so-called gangsters, where did they get all those things from? He got it from the so-called white man, because he took every goddamn thing, mainly the so-called Jews. All right, who was running the mafia, or had the Italians as their frontmen. So it was nothing but violence that everybody was looking at. All right, it says they are filled with shame. So it's nothing about the society that's on a high level of anything. Everything was bought and sold and stole and destroyed by the same gangsters, man. Before the term of gangsters came out, these guys was taking fucking continents, man, taking people's identities. All right, the biggest thieves in murder, and that's something that was being glorified in the sight of the men. Okay, it says, "For glory drink thou also, and that thy foreskin be uncovered." So these things is coming out. Like, look, all these deaths. Yeah, you could sit there and say blame. You know, you could blame these artists, but who's really pushing it? That's why you got that. What's this guy's name? Man, the guy, he was in Def Jam. He was in a whole bunch of shit. Leon Cohen, I think his name is. A tall Israeli bastard, man. And that bastard got on Hot 97. Maybe I'll find it. And he was talking about how these kids today speaking of all this shit and how terrible it is. So it's like, so what did you sign them for? Well, you know, I gotta make a living, you know. And that's what he said. And that guy was behind a lot of shit. He went from one record label to another record label. Everybody was in the 1990s concerned about Death Row and Bad Boys and everybody in between. This guy was influencing everything. Okay, they made those artists become more demonic, and you see all the death that this damn devil helped orchestrate it. He created a culture of death, man, and that's black culture. Black culture is death culture, and you got it from your daddy. All right, like the scripture says. Matter of fact, St. John 8 and 44, it says, "Ye of your father the devil, and the lust of your father you will do." And this is why everybody was following suit. Everything that I was saying is true. When you look back and listen back to everything these guys was talking about, they'll call themselves certain gangster, some former gangster names of mafiosos and all this other shit. They was lusting after that, and everybody in the hood that was in between this fucking world, that if you didn't know nobody in the street, everybody wanted to be a fucking gangster. Everybody wanted to be a thug. All right, before thug was popping, everybody was a hoodlum or or a gangster. All right. And there was these things. They was doing these things because the simple fact is, it's all about who conquered, and whoever conquered, they're gonna follow suit. All right. They're gonna follow whatever the conqueror tells them to do. And a lot of these men sold out. And a lot of these people are dead. A lot of them are still alive. Okay? Playing the tune of their father, the devil. Alright? It said he was a murderer from the beginning. And abode not in the truth. And that's the spirit of Cain. And that's one thing about that brand of music that we grew up in. That brand of music is not about uplifting a brother. It's about destroying your own brother. Okay? That's what that brand of music is about. It's about the destruction of your own kind. Or you may not kill him physically, but you kill his character. You kill him because he don't have what you have. You kill him because you commit adultery with his woman. You kill him because you just want to destroy him. Okay? And you will never see that any more else than so-called black culture. And then you got the nerve to say the culture. Okay? It says he abode not in the truth because there is no truth in him. And that's why this whole facade that we was brought up to believe, this is how you get out of your poverty. All right? Everybody wanted to spit fucking rhymes and had a rhyme book and all this other shit. Here we are, we was looking young as kids, looking at the Eric B. and Rakim, you know what I'm saying, Big Daddy Kane's, Slick Rick with the big dookie chains and all that. Like, yo, I want to be like them, this, that, to the third. Look how cool these guys are. Come to find out, they was renting every fucking thing that they had. Then he fast forwarded to the era of MTV Cribs, and this is what the rappers. This is what gets you once you have skills and they get signed and all this other shit. Come to find out, all that shit was rented. All right, it was all a facade. Okay. Because it's all part of the illusion. So when he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and a father of it. Okay? And that's the spirit of Esau. Alright? A lot of you niggas got the spirit of Esau. Matthew 4, I believe it's 12. Slakia. Matthew 4 and 10. No. 8. It says, again, the devil taketh him up into the exceeding high mountain. So the devil tempted in the Lord. Alright. Our Lord Yahushua, and showed him all the kingdoms of the world and the glory of them, and save unto him, all these things will I give thee, if thou wilt fall down and worship me. So the devil, Satan, okay, the spiritual demon Satan, has the rulership of everything in this world. All right, the fame, the fortune that's given is not given to ordinary individuals. The fame and fortune is given to the influencers, to influence others, and that power is given to them by Satan. All right, this is why the results of the giving is early deaths. Even for, I'm looking at Shock G from Digital Underground. Oh, DMX and Black Rob, even for their age, okay? Shock G, 57 years old. That's pretty good. That's pretty decent standard. Okay? I mean, they outlived their lives because they got the common age of death for the so-called black man is a lot younger than that. If you're lucky to get out at the age of 18, that was not a fucking lie. All right? That was not a lie. That was not something that was just mainly said in a song. That was really what was happening. But it never changed. So you got Black Rob, you got 50 DMX, and they reached 50. And even for that age, okay, that's still young. So Def is following these fools, man. Okay, Def follow these fools. Oh, and then it tells you all the stuff that they had through. Shootings, deaths, shooting. This is all heart attack. Who's this? DMX. It said heart attack due to drug overdose, which that's a whole nother subject. But I'm not gonna talk about these people's death. But it's just that death follows them. All right, and now we understand when the Lord was tempted, and while he was seeing all the great glory that was given unto these lower individuals that's amongst us. But it all comes with a price. All right, and it came with a major price. It says, verse 10, then saith Yahushua unto him, get thee hence, Satan, for it is written, thou shalt worship the Lord thy power, and him only shall thou serve. All right, and that's what the scriptures talks about. Was it man lose his own soul? Luke. Let me just type it in. It might be Mark. There's one in Mark too. Yeah, let me get that one in Mark. Oh, Matthew's. Do Mark. Mark 8:36. It said, for what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world, rich and famous, all right, and lose his own soul? What profit was it? There was no profit. And what shall a man give in exchange for his soul? So all these guys did was sign the dotted line, either sacrifice. It was all sacrifice. It's not a coincidence that these people died tragic like that. Even it wasn't even there. Even Aaliyah. I was thinking about, because I was listening to one of her songs back in, I think it was listening to Rock. No, it was a couple of songs I was listening to her, and it was Rock the Boat, and I was like, damn, this bitch was stupid. But even in that particular term, the way she died, let me see, did they even put her in there? Well, it doesn't really matter. Everybody know how she died. But it didn't matter. Whoever was associated with that shit, they died either tragic, all right? Some were fortunate to die by the sleep of death, but a lot of these people died horrific deaths, all right? Look at that overdose, heart attack, shooting a nightclub. All these crazy things, man. Death just followed them. And this shows you, man, black culture is truly death culture. So with that being said, we'll say real quick. I just wanted to bring a couple of things out. Shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. Shalom.